Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sabresh Krishnamurthy. I'm a PhD student at State University of New York at Buffalo. Today, I'm going to present the paper titled Tera, Stochastic Beam Control through Years and Learning in Terahertz Band Wireless VAV Network. This paper was done in collaboration with my advisor, Dr. Zhang Huan. The outline of the presentation is as follows. Let's start with the motivation. With high frequency range and wider bandwidth, terahertz band proves to be a key technology to enable ultra-high data rate wireless link. However, there are a couple of challenges. First, due to high attenuation in high frequency band, the range of terahertz communication is limited. Second, in mobile environments, the transmit and receive antennas are easily disconnected due to beam misalignment. In this paper, we try to answer the question how to achieve robust terahertz band communication in mobile environments. Before going into the details of the paper, let us see a few examples of the related works. In the first paper, the authors predict the best millimeter wave beam alignment without scanning the space and thereby reducing the overhead and delay. In the second paper, the authors investigate the behavior of terahertz band wireless link in presence of small-scale mobility of the user. Finally, in the third paper, the authors analyze the effect of directionality and random heights on UAV-based millimeter wave communication. Different from all the related works, in this paper, we try to design a new beam control approach for wireless VAV communication in terahertz frequency band to reduce the link outage probability in presence of mobility uncertainties. In UAV networks, in addition to large-scale maneuver, the UAV also experience small-scale mobility uncertainties caused due to random wind effects and micro-scale mobility uncertainties caused due to UAV engine operation and propeller rotation. In this paper, we consider the following system model. We have a transmitter UAV and receiver UAV operating at terahertz band. The capacity of the terahertz link can be given as follows, where B and eta are the bandwidth and SNR. In this paper, we consider two models to obtain the value of the SNR. Let's start with the first model. In cone antenna model, we consider that the transmit antenna uses a directivity angle of theta to serve the receive UAV. The radius of transmit wavefront can be given as follows, where d is the propagation distance between transmit antenna and the receive antenna. Based on the obtained radius, we can easily calculate the area of transmit wavefront. The next step is to calculate the area of receive antenna. Here, in this paper, we consider the time-dependent orientation and inclination of the receive antenna. So the area of receive antenna can be given as the follows, where Rmin and Rmax are the minor axis and major axis respectively. The value of minor axis and major axis can be given as follows, where Rrx is the radius of the receive antenna and beta and alpha are the relative roll and relative pitch angles. Based on the obtained transmit area and receive area, we can easily calculate the effective receiving area, which is the overlap of the two areas. In the channel model, the power of the transmitted signal can be given as follows, where lambda is a spreading attenuation coefficient, which is inverse of the transmit area, and S is a single-sided power spectral density. The terahertz band frequency response can be given as follows, where mu is the molecular absorption coefficient. Finally, the received power can be given as the product of the effective receiving area, the power of transmitted signal, the terahertz band frequency response, and the receiver response. In this paper, we consider ideal low-pass filter as the receiver response. The total received noise power can be given as follows, where S bag and S self are the background atmospheric and self-induced noise power spectral densities. Based on the received power and total received noise power, we can calculate the signal to noise ratio, which will be used in obtaining the capacity of the terahertz link. Next is the beam control algorithm. The objective of the beam control algorithm is to maximize the terahertz link capacity by determining the optimal directivity angle theta in each time slot. Using a larger directivity angle theta results in larger transmit area wavefront, which will cause in more spreading. At the same time, using a smaller directivity angle theta leads to smaller effective receiving area and will cause more frequent misalignment between the transmit and receive antennas. So the challenge is to determine the optimal directivity of angle theta in each time slot in the presence of small scale and large scale mobility uncertainties of the UAV pair. We came up with a solution to use learning-based stochastic beam control scheme called LETTERA, which determines the optimal angle through echo-state learning based on the statistical UAV mobility information. We used echo-state learning since compared to traditional neural networks, it is incredibly simple to train ESNs, while they are still able to model the complex time-varying behavior of dynamical systems. The overall LETTERA design is as follows. The LETTERA is an algorithm that is executed at the transmitter side. So in order to obtain the details of the receiver UAV, we use a feedback where the receiver UAV transmits its own mobility information to the transmit UAVs. So let's start with the input design. The input of LETTERA comprises of the mobility information of the UAV transmitter and UAV receiver. This information includes the propagation distance, the average and variance of location displacement of the two UAVs, and the average and variance of their roll, pitch, and yaw angles. The input to the LETTERA is given of form as shown in the equation. The next step, let us discuss the reservoir and output design. The reservoir is an hidden layer and acts as a non-linear high-dimensional expansion and memory of the input. Given the training input signal and the target output signal, the objective of LETTERA in the training phase is to learn a model with output theta t that minimizes the root mean square between the target output signal and the output theta t. More details on the target theta will be discussed in the LETTERA training section. Next, the output design. The output of LETTERA is a predicted optimal directivity angle theta for the transmit UAV in each time slot t. Field measurement. In order to obtain the mobility information of the transmitter and receiver UAVs, we conducted on-field experiments to measure the data. So we use an Intel Aero ready-to-fly drone mounted with an Android smartphone with an inbuilt linear acceleration and gyroscope sensor and running a Sensor Kinetics Pro app. We conduct two sets of experiments outdoors. The first was windy weather and second is the non-windy weather conditions. We record and process the data and prepare a set of 20 traces with each trace lasting for 5 seconds. LETTERA training. In addition to the statistical drone mobility information, we also need to feed the target directivity and theta target. We follow the 3 steps to obtain the theta target. First, we grid search over different directivity of angle theta t. Then, we obtain the SNR and the capacity. Finally, we choose the theta that achieve maximum capacity and use it as the theta target for particular time slot. So, the input and output weights of the LETTERA is updated such that root mean square error is minimized. The expression for root mean square error is given as follows, and N out is the dimension of output units. Performance evaluation. First, link capacity with different beam directivity of angle thetas. We considered two different mobility traces for windy and non-windy weather conditions. We vary the directivity angle theta from 1 to 75 degrees with step of 1 degree. As shown in the figure, we can see that for non-windy mobility conditions, the capacity achieved is 2 gigabits at an angle around 4 degrees. However, for windy mobility, the capacity achieved is around 900 megabits per second at an angle around 10 degrees. This is due to in windy mobility model, due to windy conditions, the UAV faces small scale mobility uncertainties, which causes a lower capacity and which is absent in the case of non-windy mobility. This verifies the importance of dynamically adapting the directivity angle theta based on the UAV mobility information. In the second experiment, we compare the link SNR based on the different beam elementary latency. We consider a windy weather as an example. Beam elementary latency of 1 and 100 time slots are used. A beam alignment latency of 1 corresponds to 5 milliseconds. So a beam alignment latency of 1 and 100 time slot corresponds to 5 milliseconds and 500 milliseconds respectively. We then calculate the SNR of the terahertz link with the directivity angles 1, 2, 5, and 10. So let's start with beam alignment latency of 1. We can see that the average SNR is around 6.5 dB with beam alignment latency of 1 and theta is 1. This is due to when we use a smaller beam alignment latency, it takes just 5 milliseconds to align itself to the transmit UAVs, and using a smaller angle means we concentrate more power on the receiver UAV. However, when we use a beam alignment latency of 100 and use a theta of 1, due to the variation in the UAV mobility pattern, the SNR is significantly reduced, and it also faces uh, link outages. For beam latency of 100 and theta is 1, the link outage probability is around 87%. And when the beam latency is 100 and the theta is 10, the probability of link outage is 39%. This proves that large beam latency and directivity angle cause frequent misalignment in presence of mobility uncertainties. Prediction accuracy. We train and test LEDTERA with input data collected in 1000 time slots. The first 90% of the input data is used for training and the remaining is used for testing. The prediction accuracy of ESN is defined as follows. In the figure, we can see that LEDTERA is able to accurately predict the beam directivity angle at an accuracy of around 99%. LEDTERA with fixed directivity of angles. In this experiment, we compare the LEDTERA with fixed directivity angle of 5 and 20 degrees as the benchmark scheme. Beam alignment latency is set to 100 time slot for all the three schemes. We can see that with the directivity angle of 20, the capacity is almost constant around 100 to 150 megabits per second. However, consider the time slot from 60 to 80. We can see that using a directivity angle of 5, during the time slot 60 to 80, the capacity is 0. However, with LEDTERA, during the time slot 60 to 80, we are able to achieve around 2 gigabits of link capacity. This proves that significant gain in terms of average link capacity can be achieved by LEDTERA. In the last experiment, we consider beam alignment latency of 1, 5, 10, 25, and 50 time slot, and we plot the terahertz link capacity. We consider that the beam alignment latency of 1 time slot is considered as optimal beam alignment scheme. We can see that with beam alignment latency of 1, 5, and 10, the capacity is almost optimal. This proves the effectiveness of LEDTERA in improving the robustness of terahertz band wireless link in presence of beam alignment latency. Conclusion. In this paper, we studied the problem of adaptive beam control for UAV communication in terahertz band. We propose a stochastic beam control scheme called LEDTERA, which can predict through echo-state learning the optimal beam directivity angle based on the second order moment of the mobility pattern of the UAVs. We evaluated the effectiveness of LEDTERA through an extensive simulation campaign. The results indicate that LEDTERA can predict the optimal directivity angle with a very high accuracy and can achieve nearly optimal link capacity with beam alignment latency of up to 50 milliseconds. The dataset of UAV flight traces and the source code have been released to the community via GitHub for repeating the experiments. Thank you. For any questions and comments, please feel free to email me at sk382@buffalo.edu. The code and the datasets are available at the GitHub link as shown below. Thank you.